remember when I first met Howard Pittman. I was 30-some years old, and I was a member of a chaplain's, Washington State chaplain, volunteer chaplain association, and I was having lunch with the general chaplain, his name, and sitting next to him was Howard Pittman. He shared briefly, he was talking briefly about his experience that changed his life, and I invited him to come to our prayer meeting, which we had in our house. And he most humbly accepted. So the next week, here he comes with his wife, and he shared his testimony, how that he had suffered a great hemorrhage in his body, massive hemorrhage, and how that he actually died for a period of time, and during that time, doctors were working on his body and everything, trying to do whatever they could for him. And he was taken up into the third heaven, where he was monitored by some angels who said that the Lord wanted to speak to him, which he thought, well, you know, I've been a minister for 30-some years. I've preached to the sick, and I've gone to the prisons and preached, and I stood on the street corners, and I've ministered diligently every week. We had children in our house, and we had wives. It's dementia, which is not her fault, but demons will take advantage of the weak-minded and will manifest themselves in various ways. Nevertheless, this was one of the points that Howard Pittman brought. He says the enemy what he'll try to do is cause all kinds of trouble in your own house. And Jesus even said, a man's enemy shall be of his own household. So he visited us, we prayed together, and the next Wednesday following, the 4 of us that were men went to a Wednesday night service at a church, Assembly of God church, and the power of God was manifest in such a way that the pastor did not preach or teach like he normally did. He canceled it, and various people from the congregation stood up and shared psalms and praises of the Holy Spirit. And they were like, whoa, I've never heard that guy stand up. And they were bold, and they shared the blessings and the goodness of God. And then at 9 o'clock, you know, the pastor closed the service, and some stayed for prayer, and then they all left. But we stayed around. There was 4 of us. We stayed in the foyer of the church, and we were to lock up after we left. And the power of God came upon us, and we were on the floor for 3 to 4 hours. That's right. We could not get up. And each one of us were ministered separately. And it was the Spirit of Christ. And the Spirit revealed in me unbelief, that I had unbelief in my heart. Everything was naked before him, and I was confessing unbelief. And here I thought I had it all together, that I was a spiritual man. Well, I was spiritual, all right, but spiritually deceived. And ever since then, I have gone through various trials and tribulations and entrapments of the devil. And by the Spirit of Christ I have been delivered from all afflictions, and many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers us out of them all. May this be an encouragement to you that are married. You may have a wife. You may seek to be loosed, but seek not a wife. Are you bound to a wife? Seek not a wife. Seek not to be loosed. Go through it. Be crucified with Christ, because we will be as though those that are not married, though we have wives, because we are eunuchs for the kingdom of Christ's sake and for the battle that's coming up in Armageddon. Prepare yourselves for war, gentlemen, because it's deadly. And unless you have the full armor of God on you, you will not survive. But put on the full armor of God and you will be able to stand in the evil day, which is now.